Internet, good morning. My name is Pokemon Trainer Steve, aka Magnitude, and welcome to the Milwaukee Sawsbucks transaction time. We have made a few team transactions. Well, I have made a few team transactions because the overall performance of the team so far is subpar. During the draft, I left some points open in case I wanted to make some tier changes that needed extra points. As you can not tell by the image that's currently on your screen, we're going to be discussing for the next 3 to 11 minutes, depending on how much I want to talk about and reveal. We have made two transactions. Hoopa and Golbat are unfortunately no longer on the squad. We thank you all for your hard work and dedication to the team and wish you best of luck in your future endeavors. Hoopa has had one turn in his GBA career, and it was him getting pursuit trapped by Spiritomb. Now, people were saying Hoopa was not very good, and I didn't want to agree with them, but unfortunately, I just can't find, cannot find places for that to be on a team. Golbat serves as a super defensive wall and a defogger, but I think we can shore that up with making better team synergy. So we have dropped Golbat and Hoopa, and we have picked up Venusaur and Honchkrow, two, I believe, more versatile mons. Now, Hoopa could be specially offensive, physically offensive, or specially defensive, but those two 4x weaknesses really hamper it and hinder it in league play, because you can either prepare for that, knock off as rampant, and want to believe that, but unfortunately, here we are. The results speak for themselves. Golbat just kind of was some dead weight. It worked as a secondary defensive wall, and Whirlwind was cool and Super Fang was cool, but I feel like I want to plug in some more offense there to help trying to get Mega Pinsir some more sweeps. That's the goal. It's been 3 weeks. Mega Pinsir's 0-2. We gotta change some shit. So Venusaur also has a poison type. That gives me 3 psychic type weaknesses, which I understand is a lot, but I think we can work around that, especially because we added a dark type. Now, we also dropped a psychic weakness with Golbat and added one with Venusaur, so I'm not too concerned with that. We added a dark type with Honchkrow. I think I didn't, but I don't know if I mentioned that by the correct name earlier. But let's talk about each Pokemon individually. Venusaur. Now, Venusaur was something I actually overlooked for a little while. I didn't want to add another grass type, but I think just what it does and its benefits are, you can't really overlook that and what it can do for the team. It's got Chlorophyll, so if I want to run Sun, I got Chlorophyll, and on that I got the Sawsbucks and the Solar Power on Heliolisk. That's always a nice little option there. But its stats are not bad. It's got 100 special attack, 100 special defense, 80 speed, 83 defense, 82 attack, and 80 HP. So it's got some solid bulk, and that is something I've been missing. I believe the offensive bulk. So we get rid of Hoopa, and we add in Venusaur, who obviously does not weak to Ghost or Dark, resists Fairy, which is nice, but flying and psychic weaknesses. But however, a quad or just grass, or just electric, or just water, or just fighting. So it's going to give a little protection to my, my Sawsbuck and my Heliolisk and my Heatran and my things that are weak to fighting, apparently, essentially. These flying type weaknesses might be a problem, but we're gonna have to work around that as the season goes on. I think we have the tools to deal with those. So we see Staraptor one more time this year potentially. So that's the best flying type we're gonna be seeing. It gets a lot of quality moves. I can run offensive Swords Dance with Earthquake. I could run defensive with Roar and Toxic. I can run Sun with Growth, and I can run a Subseeder. I can run a Sleep Powder. I can run a Petal Dancer if I want. I can run Knockoff. It gets Knockoff. So I got a lot of solid options for Venusaur, and its typing is interesting. It gives some nice resistance, and perhaps we can run even like a natural gift something. I don't know. I just saw it on the fucking list and I wrote it down. There you go. So he's saying add some bulk, add some potential speed with Chlorophyll if we ever decided to go Sun. Which again, just having those mons there, having 2 Chlorophyll mons, it's gonna make and adding and having a Solar Power mon and a Heatran and a Fortress that can get Sunny Day. It's really gonna make people go, huh, maybe he will bring Sun and have to plan for Sun. So it's kind of like the Doug Trio effect. Even if you don't ever bring it, they still gotta consider it, or else it could destroy them. But now let's move on to Honchkrow. Now Honchkrow also was something that I super overlooked. I didn't really want to have the Rock's weakness, but he does get Defy, which is nice. The spinners are few and far between. But, it gets Insomnia, so we can't even put to sleep if that's ever going to be an issue for me. Super Luck, we know that's not going to happen. But Moxie's really nice, and especially off of an already high base 125 attack, but also a base 105 special attack. I'm hoping that's going to, not going to be as considered as much, because it gets some, it gets Air Cutter, and maybe even want to run Ominous Wind. That would be kind of fun. get the boost, and we're gravy. It gets Superpower, which is nice. It gets Tailwind, which is nice. It gets Heat Wave and Ice Wind, which are also very nice. I can Whirlwind. I can Brave Bird and Brave Bird and everything. It gets Perish Song, which is nice. I can run like a Psycho Shift set. I can run a Roost set. It'd be hard to run any really bulky set because it's defense that are 52, but it's got base 100 HP. Its speed is 71, so not very good, but it gets some quality. It gets Shadow Ball. It gets Sunny Day as well. More sun, just in case, Dark Pulse for Stab. Nasty Plot. Sucker Punch. It gets Haze. Quash is interesting if that's ever going to be a thing that I have to run. I can run Calm Mind. I can run Psychic. I can run Steel Wing for Fairy types. So I got some stuff. Thunder Wave. I got some stuff there, and it's always going to be nice. And I just think I added useful versatility. It also, of course, can defog. Useful versatility that I think this team has been missing. Because Golbat can do kind of one thing, it just sits there and defend, walls, and then Hoopa does one thing and it dies. Hoopa has the appearance with its move pool that it can do more than one thing, but it can't. So I'm hoping that these additions of Venusaur and Honchkrill, we can really make some noise, and we can really turn the season around, because there's no fucking way I'm giving up. There's no goddamn way I'm giving this shit up. It's only 3 games in. I don't care if we're 0-11. We're going to week 12 as hard as we can, and we still have time for one more transaction this season, one more, free agent pickup. So who knows? Maybe we'll make a trade, some stuff like that. But right now we got to focus on Chimpact, a game that nobody's picking us for. So we got to go out there and try and shock the planet. So let me know what you guys think about my transactions below. I'm sure there's many people that are critical of them. Of course, it happens all the time. Let me know. Rate, comment, sub, of course, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Peace.